at the
All right,
Bando.
first question, how we get into
Trapping
real
at the
estate?
Bando.
First question, how did we get into real estate? So we just wanted to take some time to address everybody who has a lot of questions about how we got into real estate. And of course, if y'all have any other questions for us, put them in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer them for you all. So the story of how we got into real estate. Who wants to take that one?
Nevin, take it away.
I mean, it was pretty much passed down from our father, right? Like,
Yes.
our father did real estate. He owned a few multifamilies in Tampa, and he had started purchasing multifamilies in Atlanta as well.
Yep.
And as he got older and kind of phased out, he passed the responsibility down to, really it just rested on us. So, being the Treppers that we are,
Yeah.
we went ahead and expanded and expounded on what was the idea of a family business that he had started.
Yeah.
Very much facts. And just to piggyback off of that, I would say our father definitely set that foundation. And for me, and I think for all of us as well, we saw how beneficial it was for him, especially with the multifamilies. And being able to just watch the growth that he was able to, what's the word I'm looking for? He was able to generate.
Yeah.
It kind of inspired us. It did inspire us, because we are currently sitting in front of one of about several duplexes that we own.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we decided to just spread the love. A lot of people ask us questions about it, and that's why we are here. We want to make sure that we can give knowledge back to our community. Oh.
Boy, they had the Bando busting
I'm
out the
finna
Bando.
run. I'm finna take off, boy.
For some reason, that sounded more like fireworks.
It did.
It didn't really come across as gunshots. But we got other people in this neighborhood with us, so if y'all hear some stuff in the background, chainsaws, pops, yada yada, just know that we're not alone in this neighborhood right now. There are other owners who are doing work and trying to improve theirs as well. So kudos to them. That's what we need. Y'all just bear with us if y'all hear any crazy stuff.
Yes.
So how we got into real estate, yes. Our father was the catalyst, for sure. Like Nevin said, he owned a number of multifamilies in Tampa already. As he expanded, he began to integrate us into the operations. So Nevin owns properties of his own in Florida that he and our dad partnered with to acquire. Same with me in Atlanta, same with Nelly in Atlanta. We all either are landlords or managers of other multifamilies, ushered in through our father. He was a do-it-all kind of guy. He was a handyman, so he would always have me and Nevin ride around Tampa, cutting the grass for all of the properties. So early on in our lives, we were introduced to property management to some extent, even if it was just the responsibility of things like cutting the grass and changing a wall outlet cover or something simple like that. Dad was always trying to put a tool in our hand to give us the confidence and the knowledge that we needed in order to do this when we got older. So ultimately, that's how we all were introduced to real estate. We had a dad who was already doing the thing.
Next question.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Who are the Treppers? We jumped right into it, but we have not formally introduced ourselves. So, who are the Treppers?
Who are the Treppers? Well, I guess I'll start with me first. I am Narelle. I am a landlord. I'm also an entrepreneur in other aspects. So I also run a company called Fifth Creative, a video production company. I shoot everything from short films and documentaries to promo work, event coverage, anything you can think of. If it involves visual images being captured, that's what I do. From start to finish, pre-production, production and post-production work. And I'm an adventurous person. I love picking up tools and just building things. So that's where the love of real estate really rests with me. I enjoy having tools in my hand. I enjoy the creation process, imagining things and then bringing them to life. So that's me.
All right. Hence why our videos look so great. Isn't that, brother?
Yeah. And they're going to keep getting better, too, because right now we just jumped off the cliff and decided to build the hang glider while we was falling.
We free falling.
Yeah, they're going to get better as we go. But, yeah.
All right. Who am I? My name is Nelicia Griffith. Nelly G. Nelicia G. But everyone usually calls me Nelly for the most part. And I am a social worker. I do own property. Here in Atlanta, Georgia, I own a multifamily and I'm a landlord. So just like we have said before, our father helped me get into that, and I am enjoying it. I want to own more duplexes. We want to own more duplexes, more properties, all of that as a collective family unit. And so just a little bit about me personally. I love to travel, and then we're kind of one and the same. I love to be outside, adventurous, learning new things. I give a lot of props to this man right here because a lot of my friends know I will go and get into a lot of DIY projects, and I can do that because he taught me. And my dad, Dad taught us too, but being here in Atlanta and seeing him climb up on roofs, I be like, I could do that. I'm gonna get up there with you. And then I get up there and get scared, but I gotta put on my G face.
Yeah,
like,
G face.
Like, I ain't scared, but I get down like, boy,
that was
boy,
scary.
I don't know if I get back up there though. I'll watch you do it. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
All right. My name is Nevin Griffith. I'll just start off with I played baseball and
professional baseball.
Yeah,
right. He's trying to down.
Stuff,
right. Come on, put some respect.
Player right here.
Okay. Played professional baseball. After that, I went into I had an idea to create an app. It's called Velo. You can get it in your app store right now. Go download it. And it'll tell you how fast you throw a ball, or kick a ball, or, serve a ball, tennis, all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm the CEO of Velo. I also manage all the multifamilies from my father in Tampa. So that's kind of how we got into this. Narelle mentioned he likes building things. I'm kind of more of a tinkerer. Like, I like to take things apart, see how they work, that kind of thing. So definitely a lot of adventurous stuff going on at this Quadruplex and in the neighborhood, finding the fire hydrant, or finding where the water comes in, or the electrical. All that kind of stuff is interesting to me. So yeah, that's who I am.
All right.
Now, one thing I will say, and it's, y'all know how it is. It's hard to talk about yourself, right? Thing about Nevin that he skipped is the fact that he also is co-owner of Team Velo, which is a real estate investment company in Tampa, right? And so another brother of ours and him partner to invest in property in Tampa, fix and flips, buy and holds, a number of different ways. If y'all are into real estate, you know that there's 1,000 avenues to the thing. But that's another hand that he has. So along with managing the properties that our father owns in Tampa, he's also part of Team Velo, which invests in properties all throughout Hillsborough County, right? At any given time, they could have 8 buildings under their control. Not just their management, but also their ownership, in all honesty. So, just so y'all know, my boy is in Tampa cooking.
Yeah.
So just adding that in.
As a landlord, one of the things that we do, all of us, is go into our properties and fix them ourselves. We don't have any contractors. We don't hire people unless it's something major such as HVAC. That we leave that to professionals. If it's a major electrical problem, professional. But for the most part, we're pretty well versed. And that is why we are sitting in front of a bando and it's not scary to us. Because we have the knowledge, the tools, and the resources right here in our noggins to be able to go in here
You
and
got tools in your head?
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Better
That's that ingenuity.
We got loppers, chainsaws, all
right here. I'm going to cut you with my thoughts.
Yeah.
yeah, facts.
So that's why we can sit in front of this bando and not be afraid of what's next to come. A lot of people ask us about this particular property. Oh man, what are you going to do? It's destroyed on the inside. I'm scared to even go inside a building like that. Meanwhile, we kicking down the doors and ready to see what's inside. So
yeah, and as you all watch this, y'all know what kind of characteristics you have inside of you. There'll be something that, and you may not do it the same way that we do it, but this is for people who don't have a lot of money, need very practical ways to manage property in a sustainable manner. A lot of people who manage property, they get into it and they're in over their head because they need so much external assistance. They need to pay this person to do this, pay a person to do that. Meanwhile, you got insurance and all these other things going on. You constantly spending money, but there's no way to save money. And I say all the time that if you can't make money, saving money is just as good as making it. And so, like she said, all of the knowledge and things that we have in our head allow us to save money and make this a sustainable thing. And so TrepOutDaBando is literally about being creative enough to solve problems without having all the money in the world to do so. Because that's what you may end up having to do if you purchase property. It just is what it is. Another thing, as far as just the overall environment that we are exposed to, that kind of leads me into who the G10 is. Because on top of all of the interests and hobbies and knowledge that we have ourselves, we call ourselves the G10 because of our last name, which is Griffith. And then we have 10 siblings that are all involved and interested and collaborating for us to manage properties, acquire properties, repair properties. And all of us have various skills in relation to real estate. Some of the 10 of us are real estate agents. Some of the 10 of us are carpenters and contractors. Some of us are landscapers. But when you combine all of those things into one group, let alone that group be connected by blood, you have something very powerful. So we refer to our sibling group as the G10. So if you ever hear us say that, you probably heard us say that in episode 1. You'll probably hear us reference it other times. Just know that you see 3 of us. We're called the terrible triplets.
Yeah.
But
we are not triplets.
Yeah, we're not triplets, but we're referred to, these 3, us 3 are known as the terrible triplets. But there is still a collection outside of us that supports us as well. So if I ever have any questions about a new piece of equipment or whatever, I've got brothers I can call, I've got sisters I can call for information and resources. And so, we're well equipped and suited to be taking on this endeavor.
Right.
And as you all watch this, everyone's different in their knowledge base and in their journey, but if you don't have those people, try to find some people like that. And it'll give you the confidence and even introduce you to the curriculum that you need to be digesting so that you can be as effective as we are.
Yeah. And continue to watch our channel because we will drop nuggets of real estate, gems, all of that great stuff of real estate knowledge. Now, mind you, we are not professionals. We are not telling you to go out there.
We're not real estate agents. We're not lawyers. We are
accountants. We're not accountants.
Yeah, we're not accountants. We're not financial advisors. We are none of those things. This channel is intended to be entertainment. And if you find some useful information while being entertained, good on you.
Yes. Right. Yes.
I'm using my Donald Trump fingers right now. If you find any information that is useful to you, then good on you. Good on you.
Superb. Super on you. But no, that was a good segue into what I want to talk about, which was, Nelly mentioned that, we do have resources, and then Narelle came back and was like, well, we don't have everything, but we have siblings that can help us, right? And so this channel, I feel like, because we have siblings and we have a little bit more knowledge than maybe you do, if you watch this channel, you can get some of that knowledge and then utilize it. And then so basically what I was getting at was, I feel like this is a call to action. So this is a Bando in Atlanta, Georgia, but there are abandoned neighborhoods all over the United States.
Yes.
Right?
Facts.
Detroit, we already know. Chicago.
Yep.
I'm sure there's many more. Flint, like there's Bandos everywhere. If you are wherever you are, drive in the hood, I guarantee you're gonna see abandoned homes.
Yes.
Why not, find out the county laws, find out what
What's
kind of
going on.
Exactly. You got to keep your ear to the ground, and then see about purchasing it, see about getting one of those, because we always complain about oh, black people can't ever get ahead, we don't ever have this, we can't ever do that, but we're not really looking for those opportunities, or we're not exposed to those opportunities,
or we're not poised and ready when the opportunity presents itself, because that's also that hashtag stimmy checks to Quadruplex. That really is a reflection of 10 plus years of preparation to be able to hop on an opportunity like that.
Right.
This is a huge property that was purchased with very little money, but a wealth of knowledge. It was purchased with our knowledge, not our money. Right. So
a question I got in my inbox was, did you really get the building with your stimmy checks?
Right.
And the answer, after I said essentially, yes, we got them with the stimmy check. Timmy with the stimmy. That's the whole name. So yes, we got them with the stimmy check. They asked me pretty much, was that a down payment? Or was, is that monthly payments? Do we have a loan on the building? Those kind of things. And just to clarify that, no, that was not a down payment. That was the payment for the entire building. Because I allocate some responsibility to my siblings, we were able to be in a process that led to us getting such a wonderful, nice building for a very affordable price. And
so we're going to reveal what that price is at this point.
Yes.
Because it needs to be said so that we can give greater context to everything. We purchased this property. We paid $4,000. $4,000, and the property is ours. The whole purpose of this channel is to teach you all what type of sale this was, the process of it, how do you get into it, how do you understand it, XYZ. But for now, just know that $4,000 transfer ownership of this property to us. We have there is no financing connected to it. Period. So $4,000, and we own the property outright.
Yep. With our own money. And
yes.
We purchased it.
And so the stimmy check angle, to dive deeper into that, when you take into account the period of time that we purchased it, which was in 2020, the onset of the pandemic, it was in November that we purchased it, and at that point, stimulus checks had been issued in the figures of about $1,200. And so you take 3 people, that's $3,600. Add a couple $100 more, and there you go, you got $4,000. But ultimately, any individuals throughout the entire stimulus check schedule could have combined theirs and bought it completely and solely with only their stimulus checks. And so the stimulus check thing is really just indicative to the time in which we made this level of, we took this level of risk and made this form of an investment. If it was in 2022 and everybody was getting free Yeezys, then we probably would have said, 10 Yeezys to a quad or whatever the case may be. But the point was that while everyone was heavily critiquing the small amount of money that a stimulus check is, we found a way to turn that seed into a tree, yes. Right? And so that's where the whole stimmy check to a quadruplex comes from. Yeah.
And that's really like a testament to, it's not about the amount of money you have, but the amount of knowledge and just the sheer willpower and research that you're willing to put in, right? Yes. Like people ask me in Tampa, Narelle mentioned that we have Team Velo has a few houses, right? Investment properties that we own. And people always ask me like, well, how did you get into it? How did you, find these homes or whatever? And I tell them I had my ear to the ground for an entire year before I even had any money or went to anybody to get money to put into that investment, right? So I was literally watching the auctions and watching just real estate in general in Tampa for an entire year before I even put my first bid in. So it's like, you're not going to just, jump it. When we tell you, hey, we got it from a foreclosure auction or from a, tax sale or whatever, you're not just going to go to a tax sale and just find, and just look up and find a quadplex for $4,000. That's not going to happen.
Right.
Like, but if you know what you're looking for, you know what you want, and you keep diligently looking, searching, maybe you might have to look in another county, maybe you look in another area, maybe you can come off of some of the stuff you want. You might not get the pool, you might not get a garden bathtub, those type of things might not come with it, but if you just wait and be patient, something will fall through the cracks. And that's how I like to think of it. You're waiting on something to fall through the cracks to you. Right?
Exactly. That was a great analogy because in all honesty, that's essentially what happened with this property. It fell through the cracks, and we were able to capitalize on that. But I don't want to get too deep into that. I feel like this video is long enough. We've answered some of the major questions that are out there at this point. There's a lot to be talked about. There's a lot to be taught, but we don't want to stretch out one video and it end up being literally 8 hours long. If we went through every bit of this right now, it would take forever. But to summarize, you have to be poised and educated and prepared. So it's not just, you're not going to trip and fall into a situation like this. It's going to be calculated, and it's going to be intentional, and it's going to be through the ability of you to stay attentive and really just wait for something to fall through the cracks, like he said.
So as you are watching this video, if you had any questions that you have for us, just give us a good job, but this is a great content, anything, like show us some love. Definitely drop your questions because we want to spread that knowledge. We want to spread it into our community. That's why we're doing this. We want to let you all know that if we can do it, you can do it. You and your family can do it. You and your friends that you trust can do it. So yeah, let us know what real estate related questions you would like to know, or even some landlord questions, how to manage a property, how we go about fixing our own properties. Whatever you come up with, drop it in the comments.